We're back in Jurassic Fight Club. Anyway, this episode features Brigmophyseter and Megalodon, so we're going to go through them and then get to the fight. Starting with Brigmophyseter. Description: the fossilized remains of an ancient whale known as Brigmophyseter were discovered and named in 1992 in Japan by Dr. Benji Dover, which is wrong. It was named in 2006 by Dr. Barnes, and the species named Shigensis was named in 1995. Excavated in 1988. This ancient whale was estimated to be some 23 feet long, which is small size compared to modern day whales, but was enormous for the time. Around 21 to 23 feet long. Also, animal size is determined by mass. And how do you call it enormous sized when Megalodon also lived in that period? If Brigmophyseter is enormous sized, then what is Megalodon? Megalodon feels like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Fighting style. These ancient whales lived and hunted in groups called pods and would help defend each other if they were attacked. It's more in line to that of today's killer whale, even though the Brigmophyseter looks like a sperm whale, even though it isn't. The whale had blunt, deeply rooted teeth that were designed to lock and hold on to slippery, scale-covered prey, which is correct. It also had a highly developed sonar system that allowed to find prey in any type of water. Also correct. It could also concentrate its sonar into a beam of sound energy that would stun and harm its enemies, or ram its attackers with its giant head. This is just speculation though, so I can't say if it's right or wrong. This is one of those speculations that I could forgive JFC for. Unlike those stupid ones like the T-Rex having a septic bite. Diet. Like the Megalodon, Brigmophyseter was an apex predator at the top of the food chain. It probably fed dolphins, sea lion type animals, and other smaller whales with fish, squid, boof, and small sharks. Trivia: the name Brigmophyseter, a bird-biting sperm whale, refers to the fact that the ancient whale had functional upper and lower teeth, as opposed to modern day sperm whales which have only lower teeth. The episode Deep Sea Killers says that Brigmophyseter could travel at a speed of over 30 miles per hour. Well, judging by the anatomy of the Brigmophyseter, 30 miles per hour is just too much. It's more likely around 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's a pretty broad range, so take that with a grain of salt. In the episode Deep Sea Killers, Brigmophyseter was about the same size as Megalodon. Megalodon was 50 feet long, and the Brigmophyseter was 40 feet, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Moving on to Megalodon, who is supposed to have a more robust build than this. Megalodon's average size is 50 to 60 feet long and weigh heavier than 50 tons, but some specimens grow up to measure even 75 feet in length and tipping the scales at 110 tons. 103 metric ton for the maximum one, although an average one is just a reasonable estimate. It's fragmentary, so we don't know for sure. The Megalodon was more than 3 times longer than today's great white shark. It's fragmentary, probably not. Additionally, Megalodon essentially had the same appearance as the great white shark, therefore it looked the same, which is wrong. Megalodon likely had a more robust build just to keep its muscles going. Its name means long tooth, its name means big tooth, and its teeth were not only long but huge all around with serrated edges. Depends on the anatomy you're talking about. Fighting style: the Megalodon has an extremely sharp sense of smell and good eyesight. Unfortunately, great white sharks don't have great eyesight because they can't differentiate humans and prey. So it is unlikely that the Megalodon has great eyesight either. It was also very agile, which made it a lethal predator. Probably not agile. After stalking and catching up to its victim, which, due to Megalodon's big size, its stealth ability is quite low. The Megalodon would use its rows of massive teeth to rip into its flesh. The shark would then retreat and allow its prey to lose blood, returning to attack again when the victim had become weaker. Wouldn't the Megalodon just bite and the prey just dies in its mouth, just crushed? Additionally, Megalodon had the most powerful bite force in the animal kingdom, reaching a force of 20 tons. I use newtons. 105k to 182k. The Megalodon was an apex predator at the top of the food chain in its waters. Prey probably ranged from victims as small as seals to huge animals, including giant squid, other large sharks, and especially whales. Depends on what whales, small or big, But if we're talking about big like Leviathan, then absolutely nope. I doubt Megalodon would ever want to face a Leviathan despite being its main competitor. Judging by its anatomy, the Leviathan likely had a stronger bite force and around similar size, possibly larger. And I'm pretty sure, because of its anatomy, I don't think a Megalodon would even want to face Leviathan. And it's easier for a Leviathan to land a bite on a Megalodon than a Megalodon to land a bite on Leviathan. Trivia: sharks don't have bones, which makes it hard for paleontologists to estimate a Megalodon's size and shape. They do have some bony cartilage that fossilized, but most existing information about them comes from the teeth, which were replaceable. In guessing the size of the Megalodon, scientists estimate 10 feet for every inch of tooth. Again, it also comes from the fact that Megalodon was likely more robust. Megalodon is the biggest predator in the entire series, Brachiosaurus being the second. T-Rex is the largest land predator in the series, though, which comes in the fact that the Brachiosaurus was oversized in the show. The Megalodon can move at a top speed of no more than 25 miles per hour, 3.1 miles per hour. But was much more agile than Brachiosaurus. I doubt that. While Megalodon was believed to have starved to extinction, some scientists today believe it could possibly still be alive, living at the bottom of the oceans. I don't need to tell you why. This is just ridiculous. It's just wrong. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Also, it's just rock music, so yeah, I'm going to have to give my own commentary to this one. Okay, so the scene starts with Megalodon over here. Megalodon just swimming, lurking around. What is it doing? Okay, Megalodon is in shallow waters, which is cool. The Megalodon... Okay, so there's a Brachiosaurus right there, and the Megalodon sees it. The Brachiosaurus is just wondering, why didn't it see it? And then the Megalodon... Okay. So, the Brachiosaurus is right there. The Megalodon approaches, and... yeah, it's slowly getting... Sneak attack! Even though it's not supposed to sneak attack like that. Megalodon, why aren't you attacking it right now? It's JFC. Come on. Okay, so Megalodon attacks the Brachiosaurus' fins. Nom. Nom. Attacking it, Brachiosaurus' fins. Megalodon just runs away, and it just rips apart the other one, right? The other fin, right? Okay, so and it bites on the tail, rips it. Brachiosaurus is bleeding out. It's getting weaker and weaker by the second. Its family members come in and then start to attack the Megalodon by ramming it with its head, headbutting it, dealing a lot of damage to Megalodon, who is supposed to rupture its organs right now because of all of its force being applied to the Megalodon. The Megalodon's organs should have ruptured by now. Like how is the Megalodon still just fine after this much force is applied to ramming the Megalodon? How is it just fine? Man, just that position alone, that should just rupture its heart, right? And then the Megalodon just swims away like it's nothing. These four Brachiosaurus come in to try and help their injured comrade. And, okay, so there's a flashback. And there's a flashback right there. Huh? Okay, is it a flashback? I have no idea. Probably not. But then they just come in to get to their injured comrade. They lift it up. However, the Brachiosaurus just sinks into the ocean. The injured Brachiosaurus sinks into the ocean and dies. The Megalodon comes in later to feast on the carcass. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Now, as far as JFC goes, this is actually one of the more realistic fights. Even though the Brachiosaurus, that injured Brachiosaurus should have just tried and fought back immediately. Well, compared to episode 4, it isn't that bad. But episode 6 is going to get a lot worse. So, yeah. Stay tuned for it.